Check, 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 check out, check, check it, check, 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 check. 7, check. Good morning. Whew. October 20th. Monday. Yeah. What's going on? What happened? What is going on? What the hell going on? Shit. What's happening, guys? Good to see you. Trying to get my computer straight this morning, but it looks crooked. Does it look crooked? Is this thing on? Hi, Wendy. Yeah. Coffee's good. Into a bag of Dunkin' coffee. Putting the old protein drink in that. So yeah, trying to get away from the sweet stuff. Trying to do the things. Good morning, Roy Dahl. Good morning, team. Yeah, Bubba should be here shortly because he was just texting me. I know he's live. All right, Matt Moore's in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Little Northeast representation, as well as Dan Bennett. On time, that's like 2 days in a row. Does this thing work? Yeah. Hey, yo. Tomorrow might be a little funky. I've got to travel, so we'll see. It could end up being in the big old Portland International Jetport in my office right by Burger King and gate 14 of 14. Good morning, Dave Howard. Bubba says, about time. Yeah, I was late because I was texting Bubba. He's like, we're not live. Ooh, whoops. Yeah. What's happening, guys? Josh Baker in the house. More coffee. Yeah, I went for another walk yesterday, popped another 4 miles on the board, which is good. Man, I was wrecked yesterday morning. Don't know what it was, but I was beat. Literally thought something was wrong with me. So I hit the couch and chilled out. I think I took 5 naps yesterday, of totaling of about an hour, but in and out just for 10 or 15 minutes. So just I needed a, I don't know, some sort of, I think it's called rest. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. Might just have to give me and Steve your Facebook login. Never. Yeah. Dan Bennett says, I'm flying out of Boston tomorrow morning. Cool. Yeah. I'll be going out of Portland, so we'll probably pass by each other somewhere or another. Then I go into, I don't know where I'm going from there, but I end up in Louisville. I'm gonna put a bag of marbles in my mouth today and just get practicing that southern accent. Yeah, I'll get up with you later. Doing that. So everybody understands me down there in the South. I don't know if I've ever been to Kentucky. I don't think I've driven through it. I don't think I've been to it. Well, I'll leave my mark. So good morning, Daniel. Dustin Hippensteel. I'm down there in Florida. Good to see you, man. What is happening? How you guys doing today? Feel pretty good, even though I got a 68 on the sleep score, which is pretty shitty. But I guess I kind of see how I feel too. You know, I don't want to have a toxic relationship with the sleep score thingy. Good morning, Jackie. How are you? Got to come over and see you guys today. Heading out tomorrow. Man, you guys had some company. I look over, I'm like, damn. I said, let's go over and see Jimmy. There's 4 cars there. Jesus Christ. All right. Here we go. 68 better than it could be. Yeah, exactly. So we're going to Louisville. We'll be in the old Airbnb. So we'll be just snoring the wallpaper off the wall. That's going to be fun. I think some people are in for a rude awakening. We'll let them figure it out, huh, Bubba? That's good. Yeah. So we've been talking about some good stuff. We've been talking about building bridges, not walls, okay? In a time where it's easy to just hate on everybody, which actually can be fun. I'm just kidding. Time when it's easy to hate on everybody. I want to talk about building bridges, and today is empathy. And I don't really know what that was for a while. You know, I was like, empathy. It sounds weak. Doesn't sounds like something you get inflicted with. Ah, he's got the empathy. Ah, it was a pretty good jet. Yeah, yeah. Then he got empathetic. But yeah, some people think it makes you soft, but it really is. Ready? A superpower. Here's the truth. It makes you strong enough to understand what others are carrying without letting it crush you. That's simple, right? I've been told I get a lot of my emotion from others and picking up what others are laying down. So, oh no, we're not going to be spooning, Bubba. In a world that's loud and angry and divided, empathy is your competitive advantage. Like as a leader and as a parent, as a human being, we've been talking a lot this week or this past week about just listening, right? And not necessarily having to go like this all the time or have somebody believe your way of thinking or your stance or whatever. But empathy really is strength under control. If you think about it, it's not about absorbing everybody's emotions. It really isn't. It's about understanding them. I thought it was like, oh, I got to take it on. Just throw that in my backpack. I'll carry that too. It really allows you to respond with wisdom instead of react with judgment. Respond with wisdom versus react with judgment. Okay. Sympathy says, hey, Dan, I feel bad for you. Empathy says, Dan, I see you. I get it. Let's move forward together. There's the difference, right? So which one do you think a coach should have, right? Probably empathy, right? So empathy builds trust faster than authority, right? Don't just be telling people how it's going to go. People don't follow titles. They follow people who make them feel safe and understood, right? That's about as warm and fuzzy as we get right here, right? Safe, understood. I'll share with you, right? When your team or spouse or client feels you genuinely get them, do you genuinely get them? Resistance is going to drop. Okay. That's when collaboration, creativity, and loyalty begin to grow. Good morning, guys. You guys that are popping in here, say how you're doing in the chat, scale of 1 to 10, all that stuff. Yeah, a couple of years ago, it was kind of funny. Like, I think it was about the time I kind of learned about emotional intelligence. My friend said to me, man, your emotional intelligence is off the charts. So I Googled up emotional intelligence. What the heck is he talking about, right? I said, I've never really thought of myself that way. But that's when I realized, once I dug into it, that I'm more of an empath, and that's probably what led me to down the coaching route. Okay, like I can feel what other people are feeling. Sometimes even before they say a word, I can look and go, "Hey, what's up? You're not right. There's something's going on." Right. For a long time, I kind of saw that as a burden. I used to wonder, why do I take on everybody else's stuff? Right? Why do I feel everybody else's energy so deeply? But then over time, I realized it's really not a weakness. It's a superpower, right? It's my superpower if you think about it. When you can sense what people need, when you can see behind the mask, you can lead differently. You see what they need. You're checking in on people. You're like, hey man, saw you last week. Did something was off? You good? You can connect on a level that logic alone can't reach. Oh, he said he was fine. Good enough for me. Well, maybe he's not fine. Superpower. Yeah. That's emotional intelligence. It's empathy in motion. Okay. It doesn't mean lowering your standards. Empathy doesn't mean lowering your standards. You can hold people accountable and care deeply for them, right? It's understanding someone's challenge without excusing the poor behavior. They say like the people that you surround yourself with, like I'm going to be with Steve and Bubba next week. Like they're not going to put up with my excuses, right? They hold me to the same standard I hold them to. Hey, I understand what you're going through, but I still expect your best. Okay. Empathy is your bridge to influence. Okay. Whether in leadership, sales, or family life, empathy opens doors that logic can't. When people feel known, they listen differently. Well, somebody noticed me, you know? You ever had been to an event, somebody's speaking and they look right at you and like, oh, well, you talking right to me, Somebody's going to feel heard, right? You earn the right to challenge someone only after they believe you care. And I do that a lot as a coach. I challenge people, right? But not before they know I care. I don't just come in and step start stepping all over them, right? Empathy over ego. Absolutely, Dustin. Good morning, Tony Ruffin. Yeah, you got to earn that right to challenge people by showing them that you care. Okay. Um, and I had I've had different clients. Right, one guy had one of his lead guys was just falling behind. Right, but he was telling me, "I'm going to jump all over him. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that." Well, and I said, "Well, why don't we find out what's really going on?" There's something going on. Turned out the guy's wife was struggling, so they were struggling. Okay, and he was just carrying that weight. Okay, but when he kind of turned around and he became empathetic himself, the guy came back more motivated and committed than ever. Right? It's just a little bit of a tweak, right, guys? You guys turn the dials. Okay, I've learned that the moments I've connected most deeply, like say with Wendy or Bailey as or even a client, was when I stopped trying to fix things, and just sat, with them in it, sit in it with them. It's not easy for a problem solver or a fixer, right? A lot of us on here, we're problem solvers, we're fixers, right? We want to just boom, 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 take care of that, on to the next thing, right? Okay. But that's where the connection lives. Baba says, no one cares how much you know until they know how much you care. Yeah, for them, absolutely. Good one. Jason Rector says, true. Peter says, I know you care a lot with me. Otherwise, I'd be concerned, coach. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's because I yell at him all the time. No, I don't either. Hey, Pete, I'm going to stand up on my stool right now. Hang on. No, but not exactly. I mean, Pete knows I care. And so there you go. Walking the walk, right? And I don't want it to ever be any different than that. Okay. Um, when we're trying to fix all the time, we can miss things. Okay. I always have to go back to the Ironman stuff. Like out on the race course, I was an empath. I'm digging in my bag or everything for hand out salt and stuff. When I hike, I'm that way. I find somebody on the trail, I'm helping them out. I'm trying to be that way. Try to to stay steady while someone else is in pain or having frustration. We came upon a guy on a trail whatever month and a half ago. We were hiking Mount Washington. He was all cramped up and his buddies were laughing at him, and I just dumped my pack and said, take this, drink this. And he said, thanks, man. I said, hey, I've been where you are. I've been where you are. And it's not fun. Even it's kind of funny, your buddy's cramped up and everything. We had a few good chuckles, but he wasn't going anywhere. That's not a good place to be. So try to be empathetic, right? Roy said he wished he felt the same as Pete. He texted you on the side, right? What's this BS Bob slinging this morning? He doesn't care. Coffee's getting cold quick. I need to put the cover on this thing. So who in your world needs empathy more than advice from you right now? Don't always just look at people and go, hey, you should do this or you should do that. How do you respond when someone opens up? Do you immediately go into fix it mode? Do you minimize things or do you truly feel with them? Yeah, I get you. Yeah, ask a few questions. Man, that's gonna be rough. Like, what's that? Tell me more about that. Okay, ask some questions that indicate that you care. And then I would ask you this: what's one way empathy has changed a relationship or situation in your life? How has it helped you or served you? Okay, it doesn't make you weak; it makes you magnetic. Said differently, it doesn't drive people away from you; it attracts them. Okay. Yeah, for sure. I said this yesterday, I think, or the day before. People remember how you made them feel, not what you made them do. Okay. They'll remember how you make them feel. All right. So try to look through someone else's lens today. Okay. The lens of understanding, if you will, before you rush to judgment. Everybody's fighting their own battle. Ever lose someone in your life, to have someone that take their own life? And you thought they were fine. So everybody's fighting their own battle, guys. See if you can kind of peel back the onion and figure out what it is. All right. Maybe ask one question that says, hey, what's that been like for you? You might be surprised at the bridge that it builds. All right. Guys, if that was impactful in between the comments and the chat, pop a fist pump in the chat or share it out. I'd love it if you could. It would please me if you could share my stuff. Hashtag SBS. And good morning to all you people that are here that I don't see, that I learned later in the day was on. I'm like, geez, I didn't see you. Oh, no, that was good. I didn't see you. Yeah. Hey, check out the Mid-South Pond Retreat. We're going to be going there pretty soon, November 9th through the 13th. Going to be loving that. Yeah. Bubble with the foot, of course. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate it. Yeah, we're going to go to, I just call it Memphis, but it's Stanton, Scranton, Slanton, or someplace. Memphis. SBS. Yeah, Bubba's event. I just call it Bubba's event. Bubber Palooza. And you can stay on site. You can eat on site. You park your vehicle. You're done. You could literally Uber there, not rent a car. Okay, because you stay all week. Okay, Josh Baker, thank you, buddy. Catherine Thomas, how are you this morning? Yeah, it's all right on site. Do I have to be a pond builder? No. When do I show up? Monday. Okay. I think we got some elite VIP stuff or VIP stuff going on Sunday night, right? Bubba going out to dinner. And remember, what would Bubba do? He would be on the DSA at 9:30 Central, 10:30 Eastern. Actually, as Bubba writes, at 10:30 Central, 9:30 Central, 10:30 Central. You know what he means. Yeah, Bubba's handling the DSA today. It's on Mindset, guys. And if you want to come check it out, we'll get you a free 7-day pass to check it out. So yeah, Elite Sunday night. Come and check it out. We're actually the DSA has been straight fire lately. We've been having a good time, dropping some good stuff on there. Steve was on last week. I think he handled role play Thursday, which was really cool. He brought a lot of top word tracks based on a book called Exactly What to Say. So check that out. Just good stuff. And if you guys you want to check that out, let me know. I'll get you a free 7-day pass. And if you want to join and you want to talk to Bubba or I about it, we'll get you a discount to get in. Okay. All right. In January, we're going to be at Job Tread Connect, January 14th through the 16th. Has anybody seen that reel Eric Fortenberry did yesterday completely with AI? Check that out. It was awesome. Grab your tickets now. Prices go up soon. Steve will be speaking at Job Tread Connect. I'll be there as well. I think Bubber is coming. Yeah. And also, don't forget, check out Tyler Kirk's Legacy Media stuff, guys. He handles all of Ben Newman's stuff. He built my summit website right before I decided to jump on with Steve. So I can tell you that the process was awesome. He listens. He's thinking. He's very linear in his thinking. And he's like, okay, let's build this so it works down the road. Okay. So, and it wasn't $1 million. So check out Bailey's social media. All right. 21 Digital, doing great things in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Remember, what would Bubba do? Here's your free 7-day trial to the Daily Sales Accelerator. So great. As always, Coach, I wish you could come build a pond with these cool guys. Yeah. Pete, maybe we should get together. We'll stop building skating rinks here in Maine. Come enjoy your backyard pond for 3.5 months. Otherwise, it's going to be your skating rink. Super, Eric. Yeah, that was a great reel, wasn't it, Dan? Yeah. Don't forget, our next 2-day takeoff summit is in Houston. What was the dates on that? December 3, 4, something like that. Click on the link. We would love to see you. If you're interested in coming down, hearing what coaching program is all about within the Rosenberg group, let us know. We'd love to see you. Tony says, I'll be seeing a lot of you guys. Yeah, we're at the Job Tread Boot Camp as well. And that is right after Bubber Palooza. So we go to Bubber Palooza 9 through the 13 on the 13th. I think, whatever Thursday is, we're going to scoot over to Dallas, get there mid-morning. Steve will be speaking midday, and then hang out with the Job Tread crew and all the people at the boot camp. So it's going to be fun. Going to be a good time. So, yeah, dual purpose, pond summer, ice skating winter. Yeah, actually, now that you mentioned that, Bubba, we probably could get a premium for these things here in Maine. So maybe we should do Northeast Ponds, a subsidiary area of Mid-South Ponds. Yeah, anyway. Good stuff. Got a lot of calls today. Got to do a workout, lift, haircut, get this mop tuned up. for Louisville. Get a good edge put on it. Yep, and start looking good. That's how we get the 5 best around us. These events. Yeah, Pete, you make a good point. The real conversations at these things are in the hallway, right? The people that you meet either at dinner and in the, when we're sitting down having a meal together, breaking some bread, going out. Everybody has a few laughs, or just hanging out like before and after in the hallway on the way from the relationships that you create. Like many of you that are on here, I would not know if I hadn't gone to the first event that I ever went to. So, and it doesn't have to be industry specific. What were we on? Yeah, was it yesterday, Bubba? We were talking. Bubba went to a roofing event back in 2020. He's about the farthest thing from a roofer that you probably see. However, he picked up a lot of great things. So Dan says, me too. Got to get dappered up. yeah. Get a good edge put on that. Dan, you should probably put a little, cut line through the edge there. Maybe shave one side, flip it right over. Dapper Dan. Yeah. Bubba says, workout done. Got DSA on the road to Kentucky. How far a drive do you have, Bubba? Several hours, I bet. Yeah. Don't forget, at Bubba's event, we'll be doing a casino night. Benefits Live Like Jet Foundation, the foundation that Steve created in memory of his son, Jet, to help young people get into trade school or help get through trade school, whatever they need, whether it be tuition or lodging or vehicle, whatever. Help them however they need it. And that's been very successful so far. So 6 hours, man. Yeah, that's on the edge, right? It's like, I can fly. By the time you go to the airport, get in the plane, land, get out of the plane, go rent a car, right? I get it. So, yeah, I'll flag you down when I get off the plane. Oh, Nick, 14 hours. Whew. Yeah. Damn. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you there. So I feel like I already know you. And like Bubba said, if you're a friend of Dan's, we're really nervous about meeting you. No, that's kidding. Less than 2 connections in airport security. Yeah, exactly. So, well, guys, listen. I think we're on a. Oh no, someone showed up on Instagram. Mike Matheson. Good to see you, buddy. First time ever. It works, right? Dan says interviewing a VA today. That's great. For those of you that don't know what a VA it is, it's a virtual assistant. If you're doing something with if you're doing something that someone else could do, you might want to check out having a VA. Okay, someone else could do it that doesn't require boots on the ground or a handshake. Okay, a lot of admin stuff. We can help you out with that. So we have a lot of connections for virtual assistants. Touring Man has not been here in a bit, although he does comment. So he has phases where he's busier than others. So we did get a photo of his face the other day. Dan just said to me, he goes, I'm wondering about this Touring Man guy. We've never seen his face. He's in Istanbul. So yeah, he's the real deal. Rides motorcycles and shit. So yeah, could have had a V8. So this is going the way of the dodo bird, and I am too. So guys, have a great day. I'll be back tomorrow. Not sure what time. You might be watching the rewind, or it might be like an hour, maybe 2 hours early or something like that from the Mecca that is the Portland International Jetport. So otherwise, I'll do it at the changeover. Worst case scenario, and this would absolutely be terrible, I would do it with Bubba later in the day in person. So I'm trying to avoid that at all costs. So guys, have a great day. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for putting up with me and going to all the links. Yeah, he has a I saw that, Dan. All right, guys, have a great day. I love y'all. Do something nice for somebody. Remember, tap into that empathetic side. All right, we'll see you.